Alright, and we're good. Alright, good evening. Today I would like to inform y'all with an issue that has struck some parents recently. In the media, you might have heard how some parents are outraged at the kinds of games that their children are playing, like Call of Duty or Mortal Kombat. And they will usually blame the industry or the developers of such games and tell them that why don't they regulate what they do, or why they implemented such features in the game that makes it unfriendly to kids. What I'd like to inform y'all about today is that this system is already intact and is already doing its work. It's called the ESRB system. It is the entertainment software rating system, rating board. This board was put in place by this board was put in place because of a Mortal Kombat game that took place in 1993 that had displayed such gore and such violence that it was actually brought in federal courts, and was decided that it needed to be rated as the first mature game that the ESRB ever established. Now, for the ESRB, they label games in 6 different ways. It is from early childhood to for everyone, everyone 10 and up, teen, mature content, and adults only. Early childhood is for kids who are developing, like their first reading or writing skills. These are like some of the online programs that you will see for this. E for everyone is for generally all audiences, no matter what the age or demographic. E10 plus is for preteens. They contain just a little bit more violence into the video games. Teen is for games that have much more violence and some sexual content. Mature rated games are for people 17 and older, where there's more profanity, more violence, and more sexual content. And the rarest of all is adults only. Adults only is for 18 and up, and involves the most crude and heinous things that games can have in them. Now, as I said, the importance of doing this rating system was to protect children, and of course, this has made the ESRB very important when it's come to modern games. For instance, Call of Duty has been mature content for the last 20 or so years since its first establishment. Now for its case, it's for all the guns, shooting, and drugs and alcohol that's being consumed. The way that the ESRB does it is by listing descriptors that describes how the game is going to be. As I said earlier, E for everyone is for all general audiences, which means it may have cartoon humor and cartoon violence, but it's not so dramatic that you will be disgusted or you'll worry about your kids, feeling like they can get away with anything in a video game because they can translate or not. And then mature content, which is almost the exact opposite for adult people, is for they have more sexual content. That's why they say it's either it contains sexual content, it contains intense violence, it contains blood and gore, like Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat is not a nice game, and it involves people taking other people's heads off, and it's not okay for children, and that's why it's so mature. Now, another thing that I should also inform y'all is there is a group, there is a program that they provide that helps parents decide what they want their children to view and what they want them to play. The first program is parent ambassadors. This is a program that tells parents what they want their children to play, and how they want them to regulate the ratings and decide what's the best rating for my child. And other program is this program called OK to Play. It's basically the same thing, but it's more in TV commercials. It's more of a PSA than it is a physical program that you go to. But in conclusion, the ESRB system is a way for us to regulate what our children and what most audiences will deal with, from early childhood to adults only. The way that these are described and rated for each other is they use stuff that says, they use descriptors like sexual content included or gore and blood is involved in such game that they give the rating. And finally, if parents want to know more about what kind of rating and what kind of game that they're getting their children into, they can go to Is This Okay to Play or Parent Ambassadors to learn what they need to know about the rating system, and is it okay for their children to be playing certain games like Call of Duty or Mortal Kombat. And that's